afternoon and welcome to Sports Train. We are coming to you live from our studios down in Diego Martin. Well, this afternoon we have a very impacting program for you. We have all the segments which we have established over our programs. We have Rising Stars, we have Where Are They Now, we have great moments in West Indies cricket. But we also have a man from which we are looking at, we have been looking at for all the time. And Where Are They Now? And he is no other than Dave Tadpole Mohammed. We'll have more of him. We'll talk about him a little more. But to our sports fans, you ask for him and we present him to you this afternoon. And as I mentioned before, you must say thanks to our sponsors who have kept it us throughout this entire series. We have Blazers Sports Bar. Thank you so much for showing the faith and the confidence in Sports Train, because this train is traveling throughout the whole of this Twin Island state. And we have Docks Engineering Works Limited. Well, Docks, we say thank you so much for staying the course with us. And as we move on, Reza, thank you so much and good afternoon to you. Nice to have you on.
Yes, good afternoon, Astel. And you're right, the golden sponsors, Blazers and Docks Engineering Works. Thank you again. Well, Astel, we do have a cricket kind of laden program today, but this is start off on the cricket front. What upset me so much this morning was West Indies losing that T20 international, the second one. They had a chance to beat victorious in the series. But you know what happened? West Indies 258 for 5. Johnson Charles playing brilliantly. The St. Lucian 118 in 46 balls. Raining 4s and 6s. And then South Africa chasing down 259 for 4. Quinton de Kock 144 balls, and the others like Reza Hendricks, like that man have a name. And it was the highest run chase in a T20 international.
Well, when you WhatsApp me this morning, the score 258 West Indies, I said that's a winning total, Reza.
Yes.
So we cannot lose that game. Believe you me, it means that these South Africans, they'll have to score over 12 runs, over 13 runs and over. But looking at the first T20 game, the main bat did not get off, and that is Quinton de Kock. And this time, he fired, and he fired well.
It is amazing. And Astel, Quinton de Kock and Hendricks put on 152 in less than 11 overs.
Yeah, because they were 171 for 1, I believe, after 10 overs. So it means that they were really firing. The wicket was conducive for batting. It was what they call a batting paradise, Ariza.
And just a final note on that. Alzari Joseph did not play in this match for whatever reason, and Powell, captain, did not even use Myers, which is in swing on such a flat wicket.
Okay. Oh, yes, I believe that Carl Myers would have done better than some of the other bowlers, because the ball doesn't come to the batsman. You have to come to you. The bat must come to the ball. And I believe Myers would have done a little better, because on flat wickets, once the ball is coming to you, you can close your eye and play shots. You can do whatever you want to do. Once the ball is coming to you on a flat wicket, then it is food for the lion, as we say in cricket.
Well, another cricket front, as you're aware, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force has lost 2 straight in the regional tournament, back-to-back against Guyana and Barbados by 7 wickets. They lost to Guyana by 143 runs. And the coach, David Furlong, who we have had on this program,
correct, yes,
says don't expect too many changes. I think the last game is against Jamaica next week. But this is worrying to me, Astor.
It is not just worrying to you. It has to be a headache for David Furlong and his technical staff, because something is going wrong with this team. This team, loaded with talent and loaded with a lot of potential, but they are not firing. It means that sometimes we we sound like if it's a broken record.
Yeah.
There's technical deficiencies that has to be solved, and these fellas cannot solve it while playing the game, while actually playing an original for the game. It has to be solved while in the nets, or they got to pull themselves away. And when you look at the dismissals during the first innings of this game, it tells you that something is wrong, because there's too many soft dismissals, too many batsmen going out there and giving the wicket away. They are not putting a prize, a golden prize on the wickets. They seem to be playing like millionaires. Whatever comes, I mean, they spend wildly. And local cricket, Trinidad cricket, is paying a heavy price for that. Reza.
Yes, yes. Well, back to Test cricket again. You remember the South African tour where West Indies lost the 2 tests by I think 87 runs in the first test, and then 284 runs in the second test. So we have Andre Lawrence, former Trinidad and Tobago national rounder, who played, cricket for Trinidad and Tobago back in the 90s, and he had his opinion on that test series against South Africa. So let's have a look. Andre Lawrence.
Okay, cricket fans, we have on Zoom Live our former national player, Mr. Andre Lawrence, who played some good cricket for Trinidad and Tobago back in the 90s. Andrew, welcome to IETV. How are you?
Doing great, Reza. Good to be here, and welcome to all your viewers.
Excellent, man. Well, you played some good cricket for Trinidad and Tobago back in the 90s, so I was wondering, and the fans may be wondering, who was the fastest bowler you ever faced in West Indian cricket, and how did you cope? Did you crack him to the boundary?
Well, in the times when I played, which was mostly, as they say, in the 90s,
yes,
there still were quite a number of high-quality fast bowlers around. Courtney Walsh was one that was highly competitive. And we had quicks. I mean, on our team, thankfully, Ian Bishop was part of our team, and Tony Gray.
Right.
But Curtly Ambrose, Winston and Kenny Benjamin. There was a young guy, a young quick, also from the Leeward Islands, called Vaughan Walsh, who was extremely fast. He didn't go on to play representative cricket for the West Indies, but I can tell you, he was certainly a terror. Patrick Patterson was around in my time, Franklin Rose. So yeah, quite a number of very, very good fast bowlers around. I had one match against Malcolm Marshall and Joel Garner.
Right.
But they were practically on their way out at that time. But excellent time and highly, highly competitive.
For sure. We need some of these guys back, similar to these guys,
Yeah. We could do it. We could do it one or two of them right now.
Well, let me start with the South African tour, the test tour. Andre, we lost the first test by 87 runs, and we even lost it worse in the second test by 284 runs. And in the second innings of the second test, West Indies were bowled out for 106. Again, flaws in the batting deficiencies. I wouldn't want to quote the averages for that tour, that 2-test tour. I mean, Jason Holder, finished with 39, and the rest of them, which I wouldn't want to name, but of course we basically know, were the 20s and 10s, and even one was in the single digits. What is going on with West Indian batting at test level, Andre Lawrence?
Okay, so this is a conversation that can go on for quite a bit of time, but I'll try to, get it as tight as possible. First of all, I was a little disappointed of how we performed in South Africa, right, having just come from Zimbabwe and having done fairly well with the bat. Now I know it's completely a different opposition, but you see, when you have confidence as a player, you tend to feel really good going up against practically anyone. And most of the batting performed quite well in Zimbabwe. Now, having said that, you're talking about different conditions, faster, bouncier tracks, and you're talking about a very, very high quality bowling unit. Rabada, Nokia, and let's not forget the debutant, is it
Kutsia,
begins with
something.
C?
Yeah.
Kutsia.
Yes.
Kutsia. And he was actually one of the quickest of the three. Bowling, I mean, he clocked as much as 92 miles per hour during this series. So there was no let up for our batsmen. The thing about it is that no one seemed to be able to cope with any sort of length of time. To be honest, the batting on the tour itself, both South Africa and West Indies batting, wasn't great to watch. But certainly the West Indies fell away badly. Why are we there? Why is this happening?
Yes.
I think the quality of cricket in the Caribbean needs a lot to be desired. And let's start from where a lot of people do not look at. And that is before the boys get even to regional cricket. It all starts with club cricket, the inter-island competitions, the islands on the competitions on each island. It's difficult to speak for other islands. I can tell you what it's like at home, having coached teams in the Premiership in recent years. That would be Comets. Having, of course, seen a lot of the cricket and just been in and around it. The quality of the cricket has fallen away badly. True, genuine clubs very rarely exist. A lot of teams are just that. They're teams made up of players that simply follow the team that sometimes pays the best dollar. They come together. The attitude and the environment in which they play is, in my view, quite poor. And that leads to guys having bad habits. When they have bad habits and they now get to regional level, as we can see in recent times, even up to today, our batsmen don't seem to have the temperament to play an innings, to bat through difficult periods, and they've not developed their game. There's a lot of talent around, but they've not been able to develop their game. Take that now, and you take these guys, the best of that bunch, and when you take the best of that bunch, they're thrown in maroon colors and represent the West Indies teams, whether it's red ball or white ball cricket. But we're talking Test cricket at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have those those guys now coming into Test cricket underdeveloped, in my view.
No, sorry, but it's a Caribbean problem, is it?
It's a Caribbean problem for sure.
Yes.
Not just isolated to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
But it's a Caribbean problem. But as I said, I can speak strongly for what I see here.
Yes, here. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Caribbean problem.
Well, Andre, thank you so much for this interview. We certainly want to wish you all the best from IETV and all the fans out there. Thanks again, and let us keep in contact.
You're most welcome, and great to be around. Thanks for asking me.
All right.
Well, you know, our former national player talking about club cricket, and the clubs don't really exist. Talk about attitude and bad habits, Astel. I mean,
exactly.
I don't know if he's couching something, but what do you think about that?
I mean, I think he has hit the nail on the head on many points he has raised. When you look at the club cricket, and one of the things that I am fascinated by that he mentioned is that some of the clubs are no longer clubs. They are teams. They have guys coming together, and fellas come together because they believe that they are professionals. Managers pay them to come and play. But when they make that quantum step and go on to the regional level, they realize that they are just club cricketers, and they don't develop themselves. They don't look at their cricket at the end of every season. I remember playing club cricket, and at the end of every season, we used to go back and look at your game, go through in your mind's eye and say, how many times did I get leg before, clean bowl, caught behind, and what caused it? And players must do that. But then too, he mentioned about that these are the changing of the guards and changing of times, where you no longer have the veteran players playing and bringing along young players. You have young players playing with young players. So you have inexperience with inexperience. So you just have to hope and pray that the coaches know That is where the coach is coming. They are the ones must pick up the mantle and must be the guiding light throughout this deep dark hole that we are in.
Well said. And well, let's go to another topic. Let's congratulate Dr. Kishore Shallow.
Yes, I must say that.
From St. Vincent and Grenadines, assuming the mantle of leadership of Cricket West Indies. I think we do have a photo of Dr. Shallow.
Yes.
And of course, his vice president is no other than Mr. Asim Basarat.
Asim Basarat. I think as I mentioned before, there's the changing of the guards. There's Dr. Shallow, and you have Asim Basarat. Let's hope, Risa, that this duo, these two gentlemen, brings a different change to West Indies cricket and fortunes in the region.
Definitely. Dr. Shallow has, pushing the boundaries manifesto. It's all there on the internet. And he's only 39 years old.
Very young man.
So,
yes.
With very high credentials and qualifications in business and finance.
Exactly. And what I like about him is that, he's young, he's vibrant, and he loves West Indian cricket. He wants to see the region, this game that we all love, this game that as David Rudder said, it flows through your blood. This game in the region, and he wants to see it restored and taken to another level. But the work is before him, and there's great amount of he has to climb a steep mountain.
You want to wish him the very best.
Yes,
I did reach out to him, Astel.
Oh yes, he mentioned that.
Yes, I did reach out to him, and we were going to have an interview, pre-recorded, but something came up. But I'm sure we're going to have another interview next time. So let's take our first break, and when we come back, more on IETV Sports Radio.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back, and you are watching Sports Train on IETV way down in Digger Martin on this Sunday evening. It's a good day to be at home looking at the train as it passes through your area. And we are talking football at this time. We are saying congratulations to Angus Eve. Despite all the hurdles in this man's way, the national senior team men's coach, he is seeing the results. Angus Eve, he's on Friday. He scored his first victory in the CONCACAF Nations League competition. He defeated the Bahamas by 3-0, and he went to Jamaica before that in a warm-up matches, and he came away victorious. He drew one game and he won the other game. We will be in action, that is, the national team will be in action on Monday, tomorrow, against Nicaragua in Tobago. And I think Eve says he's ready, and all his players are ready to go. But there is an interesting development, Reza, about what's happening with Angus Eve and this national team. Let's hear your take on it.
Well, I think he's mentioned something about some clubs in the Pro League.
Yes, exactly. I mean, some clubs in the Pro League, 2 clubs in the Pro League, in the Professional League, Rangers, La Hocketa Rangers, and Point Fortress Civic Center. They have decided not to send their players to training sessions with the national team. But the ironic thing about it, they have decided that once there is a window for international war matches by FIFA, they are going to make their players available. But I am still trying to get around this. I'm still trying to work around it, Risa. How could you be selected onto the national team if you're not training with the national team? I mean, that has to be one of the mysteries. But despite the obstacles and the hindrances and the little misconceptions here and there, Angus Eve is focused on the job and he's getting things done. So on Monday, tomorrow, we hope that he will be successful against Nicaragua.
Quite so. I think, I was watching some highlights of that game against Bahamas, and they scored 3 in the first half. They could have scored more in the second half.
Yes.
But, well done. Well, Astel, we have now our rising star, Mr. Brendan Boodoo from Presentation College in San Fernando. He's captain of the under 15 South team and national captain of the under 15 team that is going to Antigua, that side, national side, in the regional tournament. And he's also a black belt in karate. So I caught up with Brendan. He's from Williamsville in South Trinidad. And let's have a look at his interview.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Mr. Brendan Boodoo, student of Presentation College San Fernando, and the present under 15 South captain and the national under 15 captain. Welcome to IETP, Brendan. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Good man. So tell us briefly, at what age did you start playing cricket seriously, and who motivated you to start this beautiful game?
Well, at age 9, when I made my first zonal team, and under 13, I started taking it seriously because I know if I put in a lot of hard work and dedication into the game, I would be able to make a national under 15 team. And my mom and dad helped me basically because long days, long hours of training when I was younger, helping me develop, becoming the player I am today.
That is what we want to know, the development of your game. Who are some of the coaches or mentors that have helped you develop your game?
Well, first, Coach Nigel, on the first academy I went, and Coach Rampat, Coach Vasu helped me, and my zonal coaches too, encouraging me to do good in the zonals, and yeah.
And also Micah Joseph.
Yeah, Micah Joseph.
Correct is right, man. So you are number 3 batsman, and what aspects of the game do you focus on to continue improving your game?
Well, mostly on my batting because I'm a batting all-rounder, my bowling and my fielding. So knowing if I don't perform in one aspect, I'll have the other two to do good in. And one that's really important too is fitness, because being an athlete in cricket, fitness is one of the most important things that will take you through your career.
Definitely. We are captain of the victorious under 15 South team in the recently concluded North-South Classic. Tell us about the innings you played as well as what contributed to your team's success, Brendan.
Well, the innings I played 60 not out. But I had to do it for my team because we were batting like 50 for 1. And knowing if I put on a score and our team's total would be good enough to defend, and my teammates too behind my back, knowing that I could do good, they helped me gradually through the innings, and I have to thank them for that.
Right, and you had some good other contributions, I imagine. What about the bowling? How did that go for your team?
It was good, even though the game came down to the last over.
Oh yes.
Our team gave a fighting chance, even though in the middle overs beginning it looked like it wasn't going our way, but our team still fight through the game and we came out successful.
Excellent. Now you are the under 15 captain to represent us in the regional under 15 tournament in Antigua that is coming up. How do you feel about this appointment, and what do you think are your team's chances in this regional tournament, Brendan?
I would say we have a good enough team to win out because the players put together have very good skills as well as mental aspect, thinking of the game, and knowing them, if we put in enough work before the tournament, we will come out successful.
Great, man. Well, I just read in your resume here, you're a black belt karateka. Tell us about your love for karate.
Yeah. Well, karate started when I was at age 5 or 6. Starting wasn't easy. Knowing growing up, because I was one of the youngest out of the bunch, and it was hard on me basically because they knew I had potential too. So I had to thank them for that. And karate has played a huge aspect in my fitness and cricket. And yeah,
Oh, good, man. And how are your studies going at Presentation College?
it's going good, but it's kind of hard to manage with so much cricket and schoolwork. But how I do that is during school, anytime I get homework on the particular day, I try to finish it during free periods, and at home, when I come home, take a little rest and then finish my homework, and then I could go and practice batting, bowling, or even some fielding.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. I must congratulate you. We're coming down to the end of the interview. Who's your favorite international player and why?
I would say Baba Azam, because how he could adjust for all three formats of the game, T20, 50 over and test, and his patience in batting, his shot selection, and his mental ability.
Excellent, man. And tell us, what are your plans for the next 3 to 5 years?
My plans for the next 3 to 5 years, firstly, try and make the under 17 national, and this year try and perform to do good in the regionals to make the West Indies under 15, and in the upcoming 3 to 5 years too, I would like to make an under 19 national too, as well as the World Cup team, trying to make my breakthrough early for the senior team.
Brilliant, brilliant, Brendan. Looking quite good in terms of your objectives. And finally, you're a youth man. How old are you right now? 16?
15. Recently turned 15.
That's right. And what is your message to the youth of the nation? How did you achieve success?
I would say stick to your dreams, do what you love, and put in the hard work and dedication, because you don't know what it could get you in the near future. And don't give up if times are hard. Just keep fighting through it, and know what you want. Set your goals for the new year, for the following years to come, and try and achieve it. And basically just do what you love and keep going.
And keep going. Excellent, Brendan. Wonderful, wonderful. We certainly want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors on behalf of IETV Sports Train, and let us keep in contact.
That's it. Thank you.
Another promising rising star still.
Very much so. Talented and promising, and it shows that there is depth in local cricket. I mean, these are the youngsters who will be able to carry the baton further for the local team.
Yes, and as I mentioned earlier, he's carrying a national team.
Yes.
Under 15 national team of, I think it's Antigua, starting next month, and we certainly want to wish him the best.
So yes, and I liked what he said at the end in there, where he said he is calling or telling youngsters as himself in any discipline, set your goals, don't be distracted by whatever you have before you, but press on. I mean, my words, but that's what he meant. Yes. I mean, press on, keep your goals before you, and don't be distracted. Don't let whatever little you have make you think that you cannot achieve what you set out to do. And this is why I think he has been chosen to be the captain of the national under 15 team.
Yes. Well, great going, Brendan, and thank you very much, and your mother, of course, for facilitating this interview. So when we come back, let's spend a few minutes on great moments in West Indian cricket. Stay tuned to IETV.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to Sports Train. You are viewing Sports Train. This train has been traveling throughout this Twin Island state, and you're looking at it. And we reached on to our segment, Great Moments in West Indies Cricket. And who else can we be talking about when it comes to great moments? A great man, a great fast bowler, Michael Holding, 14 wickets at the Oval in London. Reza, explain to them. I mean, tell our viewers more about it.
Well, this video, of course, you've seen it all over YouTube, but when you actually see the figures or hear the figures behind it, Astel, 53 overs, 15 maidens, 149 runs, 14 wickets is the best match analysis by a West Indian bowler in Test cricket. August 1976, West Indies 687 for 8 declared, England 435 and 203. And that was a match that could never be forgotten because Michael Holding was at his utmost best. Let's have a few minutes of that wonderful video.
Let's just stay with this Oval Test for a moment. You know, people often complain about those dreary long run-ups of fast bowlers. But some are really quite a joy to watch. And I look back in the past and think of Fred Truman, Ray Limble and Wes Hall, and in the present day, none better than Michael Holding. He was a 400-meter runner, and this shows in his wonderful gliding run-up. He nods his head in the middle, and he doesn't seem to touch the grass as he runs up and hurls himself backwards and delivers that ball. And umpires have often said they can't hear him running up, he's so quiet. I never saw Frank Tyson bowl at his fastest in Australia, and to me, Holding is the fastest bowler I've ever seen, and thank goodness I never had to play against him, especially in that Oval Test where on the slow pitch, quite unsuitable to fast bowlers, he took 13 wickets in the match, beating batsmen in the air by sheer pace.
And he's out, LBW this time. There's a danger man Holding. So Warner there, beaten by a ball which moved just a fraction. And goes LBW for 8 with the England score on 40 seconds. Just moved a little, but honestly one would have thought that Bob Woolmer should have played that without too much discomfort. Holding to steal.
That's out. David Steele has given out LBW. Holding has broken through. Steele didn't appear particularly impressed by it. You can see it again now. Well, it didn't look to me as though he was outside off stump. His foot, to me, seems to be pretty much in line with the stumps. Chris Balderstone isn't off the mark yet, and Michael Holding is bowling very fast. And he's bowled him. Played on. A very, very good Yorker, that one. That's a good piece of bowling from Holding. Beat him outside the off stump and then fired in a tremendous Yorker. Balderstone just managed to get the bat down. The ball ran back onto the stumps. He's out without scoring, 151 for 3.
Tony Greig facing Holding.
And he's bowled it.
So Holding strikes again. And a very disappointed, disenchanted Tony Greig there. Going slightly across the line of a straight ball.
Are still arguably one of the greatest West Indian fast bowlers of all time, Michael Anthony Holding, known also as Whispering
Death. I mean, this man is tremendous on any kind of wicket, fast or slow, high or low. He is the man to put on to bowl against any batting lineup because he has genuine pace. I heard Jeff Boycott, spoke about him.
Oh,
he
yes.
said when Holden hits, when the ball from Holden's hands hits the wicket, it skids on. So you have very little time to adjust at that pace in which this man is bowling at. So a tremendous cricketer, and he is a legend in West Indies cricket, Reza.
Well, as you mentioned, Jeff Boycott, it was in March 1981, he just scattered Boycott stomping at Kensington all over the place. It was Jeff Boycott who called Michael Holding the Rolls Royce of fast bowlers.
Exactly. And Dickie Bird, the umpire, said that every time that Michael Holding is approaching the wicket, he had to look back because he never heard this man approaching the wicket. He was so light on his feet that he came in ease through, and sometimes he thinks that there's no one behind him. But Mikey Holding is steaming in to bowl to the bowler, so he has to look back to make sure that the bowler is approaching the popping crease.
Excellent man. Michael Holding, I had the privilege of meeting him here a couple of years ago. I was absolutely stunned to meet this man in flesh. But still, we have a big one, and you know,
Yes.
this interview that you did was to say a request by one of our main sponsors.
Oh yes, I remember that well. When we sat down with
Mr. Gosain,
yeah, Mr.
Doctor
Gosain,
Engineering.
yes, and he said, fellas, what's about Dave Mohammed?
Yes.
And we said we are going to get him for you.
And we do have, a clip on Dave, which is where you met him in Pompey.
I met him at Pompey's, Yulan Pompey's Park, and that is in the Princestown area, and he lived. He at one time during his early cricketing life, he lived just next door to it.
Well, he's a man who played 5 Test matches for the West Indies and 7 one-day internationals for the West Indies also, and he also between 2001 to 11. He took 172 wickets for Trinidad and Tobago.
Very good, and he's a left-arm Chinaman good bowler, a rare type. I know, and I thought he should have played a little more Test cricket.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's have a look now at Dave Tadpole Mohammed.
That's right. Good afternoon, sports fans. I'm speaking to one of the most colorful and dramatic and exciting characters to ever grace the cricket field. He started off at the primary school level, at the local level, he went on to regional level, and then he went on to the Test level. He always had fans at the edge of their seats. Exciting he is. That person I'm talking about, he's from this area, P-Town area, the Princestown area. His name is Dave Tadpole Mohammed. Dave, thank you so much for being a part of Sports Train.
It was a pleasure.
So Dave Mohammed, let's get straight into this interview. Tell me exactly, Dave Tadpole Mohammed, where that name Tadpole came from? Very briefly.
Well, actually, I born and grew Yulan Pompey Park, which is transport. And every time the rain fall, the ground full with water. That's why the tadpoles and them come out. That's why I get the name Tadpole, because I love to play in the pools of water with the tadpoles.
Oh, I see. Excellent thing, man. So you fit right into it. Now, Dave, tell us, I know you played primary school cricket, you played community cricket, but how you got started, what made that pull for you to get started into the game of cricket?
Well, actually, when I born, my mom told me that I came out spinning. So I took up the mantle to say, well, we have a cricketer on board.
I see.
So I went straight, as I told you from before, I born and grew up here, and actually with a little 10 by 10 house, right? And 3 treaders, once you hit them 3 treaders coming through the front door, you step straight on the field, and actually some sports you have to develop, and my mother chose cricket for me as number 1.
I see. How many brothers, how many sisters do you have?
It's 6 boys and 4 girls.
Oh,
actually 2 passed away, and I'm the last of 10.
Last of the 10. Now tell me something. You said your mother chose sport for you. You were a left arm leg spin googly Chinaman bowler. You were rare, very rare indeed. What the guys around, the players that you played against, were they able to really cope with you?
Yes, yes, I will say so because they was mentoring me to say, well, giving me the push and the inspiration, to do well. They always believe I'm going to play for Trinidad and Tobago cricket and move on by extension to play international cricket for the West Indies, right? And they always, down to the night too, at the nets was right downstairs the pavilion here, and sometime in the night it don't have no current, and we put a flambeau on the pitch and we just playing cricket all night.
Because Dave, I mean, this brings me to my next question because you mentioned that you mentioned West Indies and Trinidad, but did you ever see yourself playing to the highest level of test? I mean, playing test cricket, having started at such a humble beginning, you came from where you started to play just in this community. Do you see yourself ever walking and gracing the same stage as the great ones, as the Laras and the Richards and the Sir Frank Warren who came before you?
Yes, I do because playing around the guys, the older guys around me, they always give me the inspiration to say, well, look, you is a guy with plenty talent, and you is a guy going to play at the highest level. So I take that as a stepping stone, as a motivation, always looking forward to play to the highest level.
I mean, let's fast forward a little. Trinidad and Tobago, when you get on the national team, I mean, what happened there? Because I mean, it's from there you get on the West Indies. Did you enjoy that cricket, playing that cricket there?
Yeah, well,
National cricket for the national team.
yeah, well, people told me once I will be playing for Trinidad soon. So I take it as a positive and say, good. When I get any chance, I make best use of the chance. So my first class ball playing for Trinidad and Tobago is wicket.
I mean, I don't recall who was the batsman you dismissed for Trinidad against. What
I
team
think
was
it was against Chris Gayle in Tobago.
that? Chris Gill, Tobago. Right. That was the first international game they had in Tobago. Right, I see. And I mean, how you feel? Because Chris Gill is a big one, Well, what kind of feeling you got when you got a wicket? Explain it to us.
Well, I felt very good about myself getting a wicket like Christopher Henry Gill. Right? It was exciting to me, and I said, well, to myself, one is not enough, but 5 will be just enough at my first game. So I end up getting 4.
Four more.
Yeah, 4 more wickets.
I see. I mean, I know that you have grown and Gil has also grown. Have you all remained friends, or you still talk to him about getting your first starts with him?
Of course. That camaraderie never changed with both of us. We still, be friends for long periods of time. Last time I went to Jamaica to play the Lara versus Gill, and I spoke with him. He said, "Boy, Taddy, you still have it, boy?" I say, "Yes, man. That will never leave me."
I see. Let's talk about your test career, Dave. I mean, you got on the test team in 2001. That's when you were called to the team.
Yeah, against South Africa.
Yeah, against South Africa, because I have it here. And you made your test debut 2 years after. I mean, you were called against South Africa, and then you 2 years after, it took you to actually get your first test cap. How that felt?
Well, that was exciting to me. I was all looking forward, for the opportunity once it comes around. And I think, playing my first test match, it was grateful for me. Not only me, the people where I born and I grew up and play all my cricket all my life. They are very happy for me. Some they might get the negative, they might get the positive, but they cannot change back and bring back times.
I see.
Right? But I take it, I graft it with both hands, right? And I talk to myself, I say, see me, this have to be a long journey for me because I've worked very hard, tirelessly, day and night, throughout, blood, tears, everything you can think about, right? And I take my first test match as a first class game, like I played for Trinidad. That is why I did well.
I see. And that was against who? England? Or?
Against South Africa.
South Africa.
Down in Cape Town.
Now you have a very distinguished career. You played 5 test matches in 5 different countries. Tell us about that. How you felt that?
Whoa, it's just about flying planes all over. I thank God, for the flight amongst the legends, right? 5 different tests in 5 different countries. Yeah, I think I would have been doing that for the rest of countries because I think they just needed me for 1 test match in every country, which means I planned for the whole series, but I only got 1. But thank God, still for it, right? I gained the experience, so I could pass it on to the youths at this present time.
Correct. Yeah, and then you scored. I mean, you scored 225 runs in total with a high score. With your top score 52. 52. I mean, tell us about that 52.
Well, that 52 against India. Batna number 8.
Number 8. Number 8. Yeah, against India. I mean, 52.
Well, that 52 was a highlight, for the tournament. I enjoyed that 52 batting against Anil Kumble and the greats who played for India, right? It really boosts me as to be a perfect all-rounder, bat, bowl and field, right? I always believe in myself as a batsman because I always believe a spinner could always be able to bat, bowl and field, because if you fail in one department, you could go and adjust to the next department.
I see.
Yeah, and pick up wickets. If you don't pick up wickets, you could go on the field, execute 2 run-outs and so on and take 2 brilliant catches, and that make it 4 for the team. You always got to do something for your team.
But Dave, I mean, you really came to prominence during the Alan Sanford series. I mean, where you were at your brilliant best, all your antics. I mean, people saw the Dave Mohammed. I mean, tell us about that series itself. Did you enjoy playing that series?
Well, that series was a testimony to me and the guys playing for Trinidad. We always had a captain, Mr. Darren Ganga. He always put us in front and walk behind. And he said this tournament is always have to be Trinidad and Tobago tournament. Just keep our heads high, keep the red, white and black flying, make our country proud, right? And when Dave Mohammed come on the ball, I say, Daddy, you ready? I say, Daddy, ready like Daddy, man. Just throw the ball. Once you throw the ball, action time, But overnight now, I developed some, some antics. I sleep on it. Okay, when you walk the walk, you talk the talk.
Exactly.
Right. So I slept on it and come and just execute it, and I did well.
Because one of the outstanding moments that everyone recalls about Dave Tadpole Mohammed is that when you had Danza Hayat. I mean, that wicket. I mean, and then you took off the shoes. Let's talk a little about that.
Right, Danza. I was speaking about Danza, right? I met him recently, a couple of months in Jamaica too, and we had a conversation concerning the same thing. Right? And the conversation is that you come down here to mesmerize me again. I said, no, sir. You playing on my team. Why should I? When we have no practice, we just walk into the team and just play against the opposition, right? And is that the shoe phone call is that if you're not reading, you stay in your crease. Somebody call you, I took out my shoes, I pressed my numbers with my spikes and say, I didn't call you. So if you're not reading, stay in your crease.
Stay in your crease.
That's why you keep on going and disturb your furniture.
Because Ramden was in a flash. The days were out. I mean, and Danza Hyde was walking on the track. Let's talk about the alligator roll, because anybody talk about the alligator roll that Dave Mohammed always does. I mean, all of that was a part of plans thing that you wanted to entertain.
No, well, actually, I'm very passionate on what I do. Right, I do to the best of my ability, especially especially my antics. Right, because you could never tell when it's the last you could step on a cricket field. You got to enjoy every success and every taste of it, right? And I did it with a passion. I did it with a pride, but I always coming up with more things under my sleeve.
I see.
So when I pull out my socks, it's something coming out of socks to celebrate. I always make the spectators, enjoy what they pay the money by the gate to come and see, right? It don't make sense. They just come in, walk in, and you enjoy it and you walk out. You must have something to talk about at the end of the day.
Well, we take a break now, and when we come back, we continue our conversation with Dave Tatmon Mohammed, one of the most exciting and energetic cricketers I have seen on a cricket field.
For sure.
I come from a place I love. Vibes don't get us never stop. Like something just trigger away. Like you with them just give me energy.
Are you ready to own your own home, but worried about time, money, and construction? We handle it all. With Docs, you can sleep in your dream. Make a down payment of $100K or $150K, and we'll build a 2 or 3 bedroom home on your unused land. A home is an investment into your future, so let's help you invest wise, invest well. Payment plans available. We're only a call away.
Welcome back to Sports Train, and we are having a conversation with Dave Tatmon Mohammed, one of the exciting and most colorful characters you'll ever see on a cricket field. We continue with that discussion with Dave Mohammed. Who is the best batsman that you have ever bowled against or up against?
Well, the best batsman I've ever bowled against. You could remember the game at the UE where I played against South Africa, and I got 6 or 5 wickets for 60 something against South Africa in right in UE.
Yes,
the best batsman I think I bowled against is Jack Callis, right? And I think he's still in #1, and I think plenty people should take a page out of his book and keep enjoying the cricket.
Dave, I mean, your test matches, your wickets, I mean, you end up, you finish with how many wickets? How many test wickets? Because how many test wickets?
I have 13 wickets in 5 games.
13 wickets in 5 games. Not bad at all. I mean, and your career, did you really enjoy? I mean, you must have enjoyed your career.
Yeah, well, actually, I enjoy part of it. Part of it, because I think it could be a further run.
Yeah.
Right. I think they didn't use, the resources wisely. They have, they have it, but they didn't use it. They use it when they want and when they feel like. I think, spinners dominating, right? And they should be dominating, right? You look, all the Western countries have their spinners, right? We mentioned that already. All the Western countries have their spinners. We look, pace bowling, right? When the wicket dusty, you come into bowl pace, as a pace bowler hit the wicket, you see dust come up, and where we look around, we see no spinners involved, and spinners are knocking on the door now. Spinners, I'm training some spinners right now.
Okay, all right. I mean, and that brings me to the next question, because I mean, just to stay a little on the spinner, because one of the arguments or one of the suggestions that is put forward is that there isn't too much quality spinners around. The last one they said was the fellow from Guyana. What's his name? Bishu.
Devendra.
Yeah, Devendra Bishu. I mean, he came after you, but so that the quality they say is not too right. So they stick with the fast bowlers. But you have a different view.
Yeah, my view is that what I did, I did some work with Devendra Bishu. He could now spin the googly. Now I'm a left hand and he's a right hand, but same adjustment.
Correct.
Right? And when I did some work with him, he was playing for Diamond Club at that time in Trinidad.
Yeah, I remember.
And I did some work with him, and and in about a couple of days' time, he started spinning the googly, right? And about 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time, he started playing for West Indies.
Exactly.
Right? I did some work also with young Zion from up. He playing with Union Club.
Right, I see.
Right. All them youngsters around. I did some work with a guy, Avinash. He's bowled just like me.
Yes, sir.
Chinaman, googlies, and so on. And some youths around the region.
Yeah,
so if I call upon today itself, I take up myself, and go and sometimes down in Mark, sometimes up in Gua. So I make myself available because I know.
Okay, that was Dave Tadpole Muhammad. I mean, we had a deep discussion with him, and he relived his entire career, all the exciting moments. That moment when he got his first wicket against Chris Gayle, where he mesmerized Danza Hyatt during the Alan Stanford series, and he went through every area of his career. And I believe at this time, Dave is an unofficial. He's not a certified coach, but he's coaching players, left arm spinners in the southeastern and western area. He is putting in the work. He's also playing at this time. So Dave is very active indeed, and we know that the spinners in the Southland, they are in very good hands, Reza.
Oh, definitely. And he's 43 years old, and I mean, still very active. Yeah. Actually, he was last year in India. I think he was playing for in the Road Safety World Series with so-called legends of, mostly a lot of those nations in cricket, Australia, South Africa. And would you believe Danza Hyatt was part of that that legend series?
Correct.
I never forgot that rolling alligator and shoe call against Danza Hyatt.
Dave Mohammed, man.
Man. Special man. Special
he has
man.
created an impact
creative,
on
innovative,
yes.
funny, and one of a kind.
Yes.
Well, Astel, what do we have to say now? We have now come to the end of our 13-part series on ITV. We have had a good run. We wish to thank, many people here, including our sponsors, Docks Engineering, Blazer Sports Bar, and of course we had Royals Publishing Company in the end part. We must thank the station owner, Manidev Prasad, and his technical crew.
And the technical crew headed by Darren Butchun,
Melissa, and Vivek.
And Vivek, we must say thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you, because without you all, the show cannot be on the road.
Yes. We have had some, top guests. Where are they now? A segment that, of course, you, made very, very, pertinent. We had Jean Samuel, Gali Cummins, Laura Pierre, Kurt Sinet, Saruj Raghunath. We had marathon runner Shadi Mahabir. We had Roger Daniel last week.
And now we have.
The tadpole.
The tadpole, Dave Mohammed.
Where are they now? I think is something that we would shall continue.
Yes, it's true. Correct. I think that's a series in which that's a segment which we have to hold on to, because there are sportsmen and women who have shown, who have given blood, sweat, and tears for this country, and at least when they are finished their careers, we owe them that, to go and find out what they're doing, and present them again, to show them in a different light.
Surely. And then, of course, we had this segment, Rising Stars.
Rising Stars.
Young upcoming athletes from all different sporting disciplines. Basically under 19, but we still had some, stopover beyond beyond the under 19. We had Johnny Grave, the CEO of Cricket West Indies.
Exactly.
We had, of course, we had table tennis, Rian Chong. We had UE captain Jordan Mohammed. Yeah. We had youngster Kale De La Costa.
Very talented.
Very talented. We had Vikash Mohan, Samir Ali, Brendan Budu here. You had, little spots with Tiana Guy. Very, very exciting female boxer. She's doing well. She's working her way through, because female boxing in this country is not as popular. But this young lady, she has shown that she is committed to the craft, to the sweet science of boxing. And Kurt Sinet, we also had Kurt Sinet on the program also. So you had Maria Serrant.
Maria Serrant. She lives all the way in Texas. Yes, it's true. And she's her mother is Trini, her father is Trini. She's a Trini, and she plays for the national team. Very good player indeed. So you name it, we had it all.
There's so many sports that we could speak about. All we need to have you engage in some form of sport to keep us, entertained and educated.
Correct, and I enjoy every minute of sports train, because this train went from every area of this Twin Island Sea.
Astel, it has been a pleasure.
Correct.
And let's see where the train moves next time.
Exactly. So
coming up. But this is Sports Train. My name is Riza Basali.
I'm Astel Ren. You're on Sports Train.
Get on board. See you next time.